The views and opinions expressed on From the Mouths of Madness are that of the panel and not of the Geeks Under the Influence Network or their sponsors, Amazon.com and tpublic.com. Listeners, beware. Coming straight from the Mouths of Madness, this is Lowdown. With me as always is...
F.U. Hunter. What's up, bitches?
I don't know, remake, requel,
Oh,
trilogy,
God, start that term
sequel,
again.
bitches. Well, no, because every Scream movie is based off a trope of another horror movie, right?
That is also true. Yes.
That is the truth of
Yes.
the Scream franchise. And with us tonight to celebrate the franchise that is Scream is no other than Emily.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Oh yeah, I feel like we found like the ultimate Scream fan.
Mega
Scream
fan. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that shit though, because there's gonna be bombs dropped that like, oh, I didn't know it. I love that shit. I love the hardcore franchise fans. That
Just to
like, I love Scream, but like I don't love Scream as like it's not like Halloween or Friday the 13th to me. Like, you know what I mean? But like,
Sure, yeah.
there are people that it is to them, and they're gonna know the things that like I know about those franchises. So I'm excited to like learn shit about Scream.
Yeah. I mean, dedication, even like Nail's dedication. So I gotta give you props on that.
Yes. On the shirt though, I don't know.
Oh, you don't like my Scream 3 album shirt?
We will get into that later.
Maybe if it was just like Scream. All right, I would take Scream 2. Wait, was it in Scream 2 or Scream 3? Which one had Creed?
Scream 3.
Oh, that's another
There you go.
mark.
Yeah, I remember because I just rewatched that movie, and in it, I remember they were playing in the background, and it was like at like a suspenseful scene, but then Creed's playing. I'm like, that just
Man,
totally
that ages
negates
the
scene.
fuck out of Scream 3, by the way.
That was 2000.
I know.
They also really shoehorned Static X in that movie.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did. Holy shit. Oh, movie soundtracks. Yeah, they were so
Yeah.
bad in the 2000s.
Yeah, but they used to be a big thing. Like, I think that was the first, maybe the only movie soundtrack I ever bought besides, like, The Bodyguard, because everybody had that.
And Whitney Houston. I mean, no.
Yeah, I mean,
Whitney Houston, Kevin Costner, little mulatto 90s magic.
Yeah, no, I don't. I saw that one time and once.
Once, Johnny.
Yeah,
once.
I don't need to experience that again.
All right. Well, there's no better place to start talking about this franchise than the OG 1996 Wes Craven masterpiece that revitalized the fucking slasher genre of horror than the original Scream.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys talked about it, that there was I think, Halloween movie that came out earlier that year.
Yeah.
Part 6.
It
Yeah.
did dog shit
And
business.
it just died in the theaters. So I think people had really low expectations, especially with it being a Christmas release too, which
Yeah.
ended up being really smart for them because they were like, well, a lot of people go see holiday movies with their families during, the Christmas and holiday season, and they put this out, and then it stayed in theaters for like 7 months.
Ever.
Because
Was it really?
just kept
Yeah, it was-
doing
it was-
better.
it was-
like
yeah.
word
Wow.
of mouth.
Like,
it
I
kept
remember
doing better.
seeing it once when it came out in like the end of November, right?
The theater I worked at, I think we lost it like maybe the end of March.
What?
And it opened like,
What? Damn.
because
Remember
you just had a
when
lot
that
of
used
repeat
to
business.
happen?
I do, but I remember that with like Jurassic Park, not with like Scream.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy
But you got to
shit,
credit,
that's
I mean,
badass.
Wes Craven, like, before Scream, he kind of tested a little bit, let's go off with New Nightmare.
Yeah.
And said,
And
let's
that's
take
a fucking
something.
phenomenal film.
And, but huge flop. Like, it didn't do shit at the box office. So
But now
it was kind of
now
cool
people-
to see Scream, which was a different approach, and it just took off. And I mean, we're talking now how many movies just because of how well that first one did.
Well, it's 5.
Yeah.
That's how many movies. Oh,
Yeah.
but also there was a whole
Copycats.
series of copycat spoof films created because of Scream.
Well, not even, I mean, like, I know. Look, I Know What You Did Last Summer. It came out literally.
Oh yeah,
the
I'm talking about like the
next
Scary
year.
Movie franchise that literally
Yeah,
penned itself off of Scream.
but I'm talking about the copycats of like the.
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you did last summer. What was the other one?
Urban Legend.
Urban
Urban
Legends.
Legend.
A
Yeah,
lot of movies like
My
that.
Bloody Valentine was another one that was kind
The
of
remake?
the remake was
Yeah.
in there. Or
No.
just Valentine. That was another one that
That's
was
it,
in
Valentine.
that same time
yeah,
period.
yeah. Oh God, and Urban Legend, that was actually a good one. I enjoyed that film.
Yeah, I did actually enjoy that
I
one.
enjoyed that film.
That's one of those that I had to revisit. I went, you know what? This is not that bad for because a lot of those.
But we also got like The
copycats-
Faculty, which the story's not bad, but the CGI is terrible.
Yeah,
The
Okay.
killer in Urban Legend is a player in Scream 2.
that is true.
That is
Yep.
very true. Holy shit! But you're right. Everything was like going to shit in the '90s. Metal was going to shit. Horror was going to shit. Let's look at mid '90s metal. Really, what do we got?
I mean,
Pantera
would you like
was the only
me
one.
to read off the back of my shirt so that you know what?
No, but I mean like
late
real metal.
90s
We've had like Pantera and Slayer still writing stuff, and like Slayer was like the downtrodden time of their career.
Yeah.
And Pantera got famous in the '90s. That's what we got. That's what we got.
Yeah.
Metallica wrote shit. Load and reload. Fucking yeah.
I mean, Tool was kicking around.
Tool. No,
All right, I'll give
okay.
you that, yes.
All right. We'll go with. Why would they on anybody's soundtracks? Like they would fit perfectly on a horror movie soundtrack,
They would.
right?
Technically, they were on soundtrack. Escape from L.A.
Fuck you.
There's a Tool song
Fuck you,
on that
Hunter.
fucking soundtrack. I'm just throwing it out there. There's a fucking Tool song on the Escape from L.A. soundtrack.
Oh god.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to 1996 Scream. Like I think one of the biggest thing and the smartest things that Craven did with this film was, and as like I said, we've said it followed the entire series, is that he is just making fun of a genre that he was a part of
Absolutely.
in this film. I mean, with Nightmare, that's a slasher film, but he's making fun of the slasher genre in this film by film nerds following the tropes of slasher. It's amazing. It was brilliant.
Well, and also, outside of like New Nightmare and I guess Friday the 13th Part 6, like we didn't have a lot of like characters in horror movies that knew horror movies.
Yeah.
Like,
True.
And so I think that was so brilliant because you have this group of kids in the 90s that are like hip to the genre, like know the rules, and it's kind of like, what would you do knowing this genre if you were in one?
And the expectations, we've gotten used to Freddy, Jason, the killer. And this one, it's a guessing game. They keep throwing different hints of who it might be. But the reveal at the end, it's these two high schoolers that are murdering the other high schoolers.
Yeah.
One,
Yeah.
it's not a killer. It's two killers. And that's perfect because you have the setup where, you're like, oh, it's got to be Billy Loomis. But then right then and there's Ghostface showing up. And you're like, oh, well, I guess it's not him. And you get the reveal at the end. Fucking genius, because up to that point we're just so used to who's the killer, not multiple.
Which is another reason why I think they fucked up in 3 because they went back to 1. Anyway, we'll get on that later.
I mean, I got trivia about that too, but
Oh shit! But yeah,
there were supposed to be two.
were there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, there you go, dropping knowledge bombs. But yeah, like it's their fellow classmates. You're right, doing the killing versus all we've seen before is either some old dude or some undead dude.
Yeah,
or some,
somebody got that's I'm coming back to fuck everybody up.
Zombie.
Yeah.
yeah, zombie. Yeah.
And this one, and the motivation too. It's they literally go, we fucking love horror movies, and your mom was fucking, So
There
you
go.
have
No,
multiple.
Billy's
reasons.
motivation was
Well,
like,
yeah.
no, your mom was fucking my dad and broke my family up. That was the motivation.
But Stu's is the best because Billy at least has like, my family got destroyed because of your mom. That's what I did. And Stu's just like peer pressure. Like he's murdering people for peer pressure.
yeah, no,
That's pretty. I mean,
It's-
that's the reason, no reason.
He's just
I
always,
don't know. I feel like you knew these people in high school though. The ones
Yeah.
that like kissed ass to like the most popular person, these like kind of hangers on that would like just go with whatever the popular person wanted them to do. So, I mean, like murder, maybe a little bit too far, but like,
I mean, and you have someone like Randy, who's the huge like knowledge, works at the video store, has all the tropes, and you're like, this dude is way the fuck into horror movies. And he's like, yeah, I should be the suspect. Like, he's literally in the movie saying, yeah, it fits that I would be the suspect. Like, just to fuck with you a little bit more, this guy that you could go, maybe, as they say in the movie, you watch too many fucking horror movies.
yeah.
yeah. But I love how because he knew so much that for someone who was into horror and like into movies, you're like, no, he's not the killer.
And yet you
And
have
I remember watching that because like I got in, like I remember my Uncle Bud was a huge movie fan, and like I saw most of like my movies with him because he has a giant movie collection. I mean, everything from the OG, the whole Godzilla, the King Kong franchise, the original, all the Bond movies, like all these cinematic movies. And like I just knew all these things about cinema. And I remember when I went and saw Scream, I was like, he's not the killer. He knows too. No, but there's the thing is knowing too much. Like you can't, if you know too much, you couldn't actually get away with being a killer. Like,
and yet this guy who has all this knowledge, you have this amazing scene where he's watching Halloween and he's yelling at the TV, turn around, as the killer is approaching him on the couch, and you're just like, God, this is fucking ironic as shit.
Yeah. Definition of irony.
Well, and he's like Jamie turnaround, which is even funnier because the actor is Jamie Kennedy.
I didn't think about that.
It's like an extra meta moment, which then you get the like extra meta moment in the most recent one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you do. You sure do. Yeah.
I know.
But I know people that saw that movie multiple times in the theater.
It was a great film.
Yeah, because you watched it, you had the reveal, and then people wanted just because they wanted to see it again.
Didn't you have? No, I'm thinking not. I was like, wasn't there like a teen comedy drama movie that came out that summer?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking American Pie came out around the same time.
No, that's 99.
Yeah,
99.
much
God
later.
Damn, that's much later.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
No, I think so. I'm a little bit, I'm guessing based on the conversation that we're having, I'm a little bit younger than you guys. So,
round robin age, 37.
45.
I'm 35. So only by a couple of years.
Yeah.
But like, but for me, I saw Scream the first time on VHS. I didn't go in the theaters because.
But see, you saying VHS that makes it so you're not
You're in the
too
same-
young.
you're in
yeah.
the same
If you had said
bubble.
the DVD, then
Yeah, no,
you're
not
in the
quite
same
that
bubble.
young.
Yeah.
You're in the
But,
same bubble.
But like I didn't have family or anybody who was really around me that was into horror movies. So the first time I saw Scream was like kind of one of my introductions, at least into slasher films. Like I had seen Poltergeist and like maybe a handful of other like family horror kind of things, but Scream was the first movie that I ever watched that I was like, oh my God, I'm scared shitless. And like, I was at a sleepover and like my mom wouldn't let me watch the movie. So my friend rented this movie for our sleepover.
Nice.
You always have to have the friend that has lax parents.
And that seems to be
Yeah, no
sometimes,
shit.
and they actually reference it in the newest one, but that's what seems to happen with these horror movies is that a lot of they bring up, the first time I watched it was these sleepovers. So you have these sleepovers, you're like, all right, let's scare the fuck out of how many are here? That's
I'm all for
routinely,
that, dude.
That's routinely how it works.
Dude, my teenage son was at people over. Was like, oh, let's watch this movie. It's fine.
First time I watched Exorcist,
Dude,
a couple
like,
friends
I
came
give
over
no
for a
fucks. I'm
sleepover.
like, I want you to go home and have nightmares. That's like my.
I've had to start like watching the movies first because one of the first like horror movies that I let my kid watch was Reanimator, and I had completely forgotten about the like head like licking on her boobs, and I was like, oh
Like,
fuck,
yeah.
whoops.
He didn't. I believe he ended up going down on her.
Even
It
something
was
you
like a
think
head- it was like
should
a
be,
decapitated head.
even something you think should be innocent as shit. Like you're like, don't realize at the time till you introduce him. Like when my son was like 7, I was like, oh, he can watch Monster Squad. And the first 10 minutes are like, eat shit. And I was like, whoa. And like,
That's
and
the 80s, bro. That's
I
the 80s,
understand,
bro.
but I didn't
Oh,
even
man.
think about it. But you just go, oh no, that should be fine. And then you realize later on it's not. And then
It's
you
the
traumatize
80s.
them with
Yeah.
clowns because you introduce them to it before they're probably
No,
ready
I
to
thought
watch
you
it.
did Poltergeist
It was one
first.
that I-
You did
It
the
was-
clown and Poltergeist
I did a
first.
double whammy of it, and then he wanted to see Poltergeist, and then he had a fear of clowns for a little while because I might have accidentally done that to him.
'cause, I mean,
Whoops.
Poltergeist will do it to you.
Yeah.
That movie will do it to you.
The scene that got me was the Henry Winkler killing. Hilariously enough, the like killer behind the door.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my! I slept with like my closet door open and the light on inside the closet for like months after this because I was just like, someone's gonna be behind the door.
There's so many little tricks in that first one that are just amazing, and even just like you and the big you have Drew Barrymore. She's on the poster starring
That
Drew
was
Barrymore.
following Hitchcock.
And that was
following
great.
Hitchcock.
And you already set up like, okay, so she's gonna be fine. And then nope, she's hanging on a tree by her like the intestines out. But right before that, this thing you never seen before is where she has the phone and the mom goes to call 911 and is literally hearing on the other phone her daughter dying.
Yeah.
And you've
It's
never seen that
brutal.
before.
Yeah.
But that's
brutal.
It's that kind of shit though. You're like, you never thought about like seeing that in a horror movie.
That that leads me into what does everyone think what is their favorite kill from the first Scream movie? Because there's kills in each one. We're gonna go through each one with this, but like, I mean, I can start it based off of that. Like, I got to go with the first duo kill of Steve and Casey because they both were fucking disemboweled.
I mean, they're definitely the most brutal. I think Tatum, for me, was
That's
like
my
the most
runner-up.
interesting kill
Innovative.
of the movie.
Innovative
but
kill.
it
Kind of
doesn't-
ironic, I would say, more than just like, yeah, you're stuck because of what reason? I don't know.
I mean, I definitely had that thought. Even when I was a kid, I was like, I don't think my garage door would pick me up. I feel like it would
That's a
stop
heavy-duty
going.
one,
Like,
yeah.
I'm the strongest motor
I'm
in
gonna
the
throw
world
out
on that.
I'm gonna throw out a random one. The fucking camera guy.
The throat
Kenny?
slit.
Because, well, not only that, but because
throat, like
it's such a turn, the timing, and they go, oh shit, turn around, slash through, and then you see a reappearance of him
And the window.
with the blood coming down. I just love that image, and they're like, oh, let me window wash this camera
Okay.
guy's blood off the windshield.
Wow, I like that. I like
because it just
all
catches you
different.
off guard. Like, oh shit, there's a delay, and the minute he turns around, you're fucked.
I just like the brutality of she got it wrong, so gutted Steve, but then all the scenes leading up to the reveal of Casey's death, like you said, like parents are hearing her die. She almost got away, got stabbed, and then her parents are right
Her
there.
mom is
like
right there.
Everything leading up to that reveal before the title was just awesome. It was just so awesome.
And so originally Drew Barrymore had been cast as Sydney.
Yeah.
And she turned it down, or she didn't turn it down, but she read the script and she said, I think it would be better if I played Casey because the audience would not be expecting me to be the first one or second one
She
killed.
secretly wanted to be Jeanette Lee. That's what she secretly wanted to be Jeanette Lee.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It's like, hey, she did this. Let me do this.
But it also hadn't been done really since Psycho. So
No, it
shit.
hasn't. No.
And a fun Easter egg in that opening scene. So when the mom is on the phone and the dad's like, go down to the Mackenzies and call the police, and that is a throwback reference to Halloween when Jamie Lee tells
Go to the
kids
Mackenzies.
to go to the
Holy
Mackenzies.
shit.
God damn.
Also-
Sorry, I'm
It's
blowing my mind. Is
Go to
blown.
the Mackenzies. Yeah, dude, holy shit.
Also, in H2O, Jamie Lee tells her son to go to the Beckers. So,
Yep.
they exist in the same little metaverse.
Oh, it's so awesome.
There's a
dude.
callback to that, too, in the newest one because the most boring character in the entire movie is Liv Mackenzie.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Sam Carpenter because she was
Oh,
pretty
no.
fucking boring, too.
No, but Liv, the pink-haired girl,
Yeah.
her last name is Mackenzie, so it's a little bit of a callback to that
Holy
original one.
fuck. I
So
missed that. See, and we were talking about that earlier where I was like, I was looking for all the little nuances that show up in all the Scream movies. And
There's a lot.
I didn't realize the Mackenzies because many times as I've watched, but now I'm literally picturing Jamie after battling Michael in the closet, and he's in the background. She's like, go to the Mackenzie's house, and da-da-da-da. And then they leave,
Yeah.
and then Michael gets up. He comes out. I'm just picturing it, and yeah, she says Mackenzie. Oh, whoa. It's awesome. I love
there's
it.
a lot of little funny
good
Easter
shit.
eggs like
That's
that
good
throughout
shit.
the series.
But I like how there was actually all different favorite kills from that
Yeah.
movie. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I expected like some similarities.
I debated about doing the same one as her, but I thought that I would throw it a
Tatum
little
was my
different.
runner-up because
Yeah.
that was just creative too.
Yeah.
Like
Well, also the original Scream has the least deaths in it, so
as
you
an
really,
OG does, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's only 7 in that one.
Yeah.
So
The original film, the first, always has generally the least deaths.
Yeah.
As they say in Scream 2,
I was going to
up
say,
the body count.
this is a perfect segue.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Jamie's like, first thing, you up the body count. The gore, the fans love it.
there's 10 in Scream 2,
Yeah.
and
Hey.
3 actually.
So,
It's only 10 and 3?
There's only 10 and 3.
wow.
It feels like more than that because they happen so quickly in succession in that
Yeah, fair.
last act. But yeah, there's
There.
10.
Anything else we can think of on first screen before we move on to 2?
I mean, it's such an iconic film, and it
It
really
is.
did change how I feel like horror movies dealt with the characters within their movies.
Just the way that Billy and Stu had thought this out, made it happen, and then the reveal. Like, the first Scream is the only one where I care about hearing the reveal from the villains. I don't even, although there's other Scream movies I fucking love. That's the only one that matters to me.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because the way they do the reveal between the two of them, it's just beautiful. This is like the banter back and forth.
And
it's
well, that's what I was
amazing.
gonna say is that Billy is that sadistic, like, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you. But Stu, even at the moments when it's a reveal, is
fucking hit
it's
me
just
there with the
that
phone,
thing that was obviously like not
ad-lib.
playing. Yeah,
That was
ad-lib.
ad-lib, yeah.
But like Stu brings this weird humor, and you're like, should I be laughing at these guys
Yes,
that
you totally should be
murdered
laughing.
the
Yes.
shit out of people throughout this
Totally be
movie?
laughing.
But it's Stu, and he's
Yeah.
so fucking hilarious. And
Yes.
it's just like, okay, Billy's fucked up, but Stu, again, doesn't have a real explanation, and he's funny as shit.
Yeah.
While that scene is happening too, you get Billy in the background like gutting the couch with the knife, like
Yeah,
just going
yeah.
ham, like throwing shit.
And like that, oh man, like
Literally, he's
oh.
like, my parents are gonna be so like reacting as, oh shit, like I just got busted, but not busted for like having a party at your house
I
or
kill
busted,
people.
getting busted for murdering people.
And that it's actually one of my problems with Scream 2 as far as the ending goes, which we'll hop back into the movie, but I feel like Oliphant was trying to tap too much into Stu.
For sure.
I thought he
Right?
was a
Like-
mixture of Stu and Billy in a way.
He
so.
was I feel like he was very much Stu. He's like, oh, they're gonna, like, he was just so.
But he wanted to be kind of like I don't know, kind of sadistic, but also like Stewish. So
Yeah, it's just, I think the worst part of 2 is the ending, personally.
I love the idea of Mrs. Loomis being one of the killers and just it being fully like a revenge thing for her. I don't. I really didn't. I don't
No,
like
let it out.
two is my least favorite of the franchise. Like,
Wow.
yeah, really. I feel like it takes itself too seriously. There's not the same level of like banter or fun that it really has in it, and I feel like that's such an important component to these movies specifically. Is that level of like funniness to it, and I really just didn't get hardly any of that from the second one.
I see what you're saying. I guess having just rewatched recently, I took it as like because they immediately were getting thrown back into what they've all already experienced because the whole cast comes back, so they pretty much go to red alert. They pretty much all are like, oh shit, this is happening again. Fuck. Like,
and then you get the
In Ohio, the
In
whole cast went to
Ohio. Oh, but when Dewey showed up, we still got the Dewey the Dewey theme. Yes, there's the Dewey theme. Doom, doo, doo, doo.
but you gotta appreciate them. Stab is introduced in this
Stab
one
in the very beginning,
which is
yes.
the movie in a movie.
I love it
So good.
And then they start
So
going
good.
into the rules of a sequel as they are experiencing.
Which, all right, Randy was a film nerd, but he fucked up in this movie with Empire.
What do you mean?
It was when Timothy Olyphant's character, which I forget his actual name in the film,
It's Mickey.
Mickey. He was like, I got it, Empire, and he was like, no, planned trilogy. It was not a planned trilogy. Star Wars was a single film. And that was it.
He also gets the aliens wrong.
He does get the aliens
He gets
wrong.
the line wrong. Like,
does.
Oh, yeah.
The first guy had it right, and then he was like, I believe it's this.
No,
Like,
it's right the first time.
And I was like,
You're right.
yeah, that
line's
kind
wrong.
of kills me a little bit.
I was just like when he in the party because he's so focused on the girl he's trying to bang that he's like, no, planned trilogy doesn't count. I'm like, no, Star Wars came out as a single movie, and Lucas was like, that was it. It's because of the feedback that the studio was like, hey, we want more films. Mm-hmm. So Empire totally counts in the sequel realm. Just saying. That irks me because Empire is an amazing sequel.
See, I don't know, because I used to have
mean-
arguments with my dad about this where he says he likes Empire, but it's an incomplete movie because you have to reference watching New Hope to see Empire, and the ending is so left up in the air that like that there's something that's
And I
gonna
get
continue.
that, but the data from Lucas is that Star Wars was a one and done film, and then Empire came about from them offering him money to do another movie.
Mm-hmm.
So like we would never have gotten Empire if Star Wars didn't take off.
That's true.
I
That's
mean,
what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying too. Like Randy is supposed to be this like ultimate film nerd, and we're in a movie that is so referential.
That's what I'm saying,
To
yeah.
like every other thing, like even just down to like when they first showed the Stab movie, it says it's filmed in Stabo-Vision, which
Yeah.
is like a callback to like the filmed in Monster Vision
Yep.
that they used to do for like House on Haunted
And you have
Hill.
the most like funny reference where Tori Spelling shows
I
up
know It's great.
I know, but it's a reference in the first Scream. She's like, who's going to play me? Tori Spelling. And then and I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing.
Well, and then Randy complains about some nobody from like one episode of Dr. Quinn, and in the newest movie where they show the IMDb, it is some like nobody.
And I'll be honest, I didn't realize till very recently that in Stab, who plays Loomis, fucking Luke Wilson.
Yeah.
You what?
I just never paid attention because
it's Luke Wilson with a really bad haircut.
I know, and it'd been so long. So when I was rewatching it, I just
also
never
acting
went,
like-
"Oh shit, that's Luke Wilson."
He was also acting like Luke Wilson.
Yeah,
Very.
I just completely forgot that was Luke Wilson in that
It was
part.
terrible acting.
Yeah.
But it was supposed
That's
to
the
be.
point,
It was
yeah.
supposed to be. And I love how, again, Randy gets to write himself off as the killer based off everything when he's talking with Dewey in the cafeteria.
If I'm a suspect, then you're a
The
suspect.
Yeah,
okay,
right? Yeah.
moving on.
So that it wasn't because like it really was wrong. It's just like, well, I don't want to be a suspect. And Dewey's like, okay, yeah, okay. But no, I love I do love the Seal conversation, and they, and obviously, was it Mickey is the Cameron fan because he brings up Aliens, he brings Terminator 2.
Sure, yeah.
As much as I love Terminator 2, I feel like I do have a harder stake in Terminator. Personally.
I mean, sure.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I put them
Depends
almost
on what
at
you want. It
equal
depends on what
levels.
you want out of it. Depends on what you want out of it.
I saw T2 before I saw the original
Yeah.
Terminator.
So did I.
So
But it's the
so
same.
did I,
It's the
yeah.
same thing with Alien and Aliens to me. They're two different types of movies.
One is an action film. One is a horror film.
Same thing with
The
Terminator.
first Terminator movie is more of a horror film.
Yeah,
True.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. So they're not the same type of genre in a way. So
yeah.
Because
all right,
look at
now
Cameron,
we're
you're going action.
in the sequel. We were talking
We're
about the
so
sequel.
fucking meta
In
on this
sequel.
episode right
Talking
now.
about sequels. It's happened.
No, I think it did take itself more serious, but some of the scenes were really, really awesome in Scream 2. Like the whole car chase to the dead stop, having to crawl over fucking Ghostface. Like that shit wasn't done in the first one, and that was very suspenseful. I dug the fuck out of that.
And I'd say we don't like the reveal, but I think at least it wasn't too blatantly obvious. Because at this point, you're guessing on everybody that's introduced, including Jerry Connell, where you're like, oh, yeah, that motherfucker's definitely probably one of them.
Yeah. I don't know. The car chase scene, like while I love it and it is absolutely super suspenseful, I find it impossible that while they're climbing over, they wouldn't have pulled that mask off. Like that you wouldn't have done that. Like while you were right there, even once both of you were out of the car, you would reach
Nobody
in.
tries to pull the mask off.
Ever does.
I mean, literally the first
Casey
person.
Becker.
I was about to say the first person that gets killed. It's like
right.
I want to see who the fuck you are. And everybody else is like, we'll leave it a mystery. I'll just die.
And then Sid's like, oh wait, I gotta see who it is. Like, really? Now you're worried. You're like, you're away from the killer and you're worried about it.
Yeah.
But I will say that is my favorite kill of Scream 2 is the pipe through the head of Officer
absolutely.
Richards. That fucking shit is gnarly as fuck.
With his little twitchy hand.
Yeah, dude. And honestly, that's probably like the most brutal out of the entire franchise. I mean, we had this.
I would have to think on it a little bit.
We have
harder,
disemboweling, but I mean like instantaneous kill. I'm thinking not like strategic,
Sure.
where you gut and pull out. Like I'm talking like instantaneous pipe through the fucking skull. Mm-hmm. Because Scream 3 had some bullshit kills.
It did.
It had some bullshit.
There's a reason
kills.
for that, though.
Well,
We'll get into it. Yeah.
I mean, it's post Columbine.
Yeah, exactly.
But America was.
Just to jump
Tender.
back to with Scream 2, just the introduction where you have them watching Stab. It is kind of an interesting concept where everybody's running around all with Ghostface mask, knives. Like the whole thing is to embrace the shit out of it, and the perfect opportunity
Maureen's
to fucking kill somebody, and nobody's gonna notice because how many people in that auditorium had knives? Like, how many people had Ghostface masks?
Jada Pinkett's death in that was my runner-up because that was fucking brilliant.
I would actually probably say that's my favorite. Even though I love the pipe through the head, like that is absolutely brutal, but I love Jada's death because it sets the tone for this, like, and it was almost scarier to me because I was like, oh God, this could happen.
That's what I'm saying. It's because again, it was the person with the knife. Okay, now let's of the 200 people in the auditorium that all had knives. Which one? Like, everybody. The theme is to scare the shit out of people, so nobody notices you're actually being murdered in the theater. I thought that was just.
I mean, she's
great.
getting the shit stabbed out of her.
Yeah.
on the
And
way
people
up
are just
to the
like
fucking-
just cheering, like, but they're
Yeah.
cheering for the movie as she's being killed.
Well, they cheer for her when she gets up on top and does her scream and then drops. They're like, oh.
They're like, wow, this is really this isn't what type of
Yeah.
vision again?
yeah.
I don't know. I loved her character like talking. I actually have a stab shirt that.
Oh
that
my
says-
god,
Did they
your
make
dedication
those?
is
They make
amazing.
stab shirts?
They do. And it says, "Bitch, hang up the phone and
Yeah.
star 6 9."
Oh, no,
It's
yeah.
on the back.
You recently posted
I
that. You're
did.
right. Yeah.
I love that
So I
shirt.
I started rewatching the back end, the back three, after you posted that, and I was like, oh fuck it, okay, it was from Scream 2. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was like, because she has a shirt. Yeah, bitch, hang up the phone.
And that's something that's great is they point out the stuff that characters do wrong in horror movies.
I love it.
And yet they still do them wrong. You know, I mean, go back to the first one. She's like, it's always some chick that's running upstairs and what does she do?
She goes upstairs.
Upstairs, like, and it's great to poke fun of these
though?
people that make these mistakes that they acknowledge, and then they do those things.
Yeah. But again, I will say another cool scene out of Scream 2 was the soundproof room.
Oh, yeah.
Sound
Yeah.
booth. That was cool as shit.
It was.
Just-
But it's offset by like Jerry O'Connell's singing scene.
Oh God,
It was
yeah.
so bad.
So bad.
I'm glad
He's trying to do
I'm
Top
glad
Gun?
Vern.
Yeah.
I'm glad Vern lost weight, but god damn it, man!
Yeah,
like,
dude, come on, Vern.
Vern.
Burn.
But they
I
do.
went all the way.
They do
home.
kind of push and push and push that it's like, well, are we sure this isn't a copycat? And so much of a copycat, literally her boyfriend again.
Yeah.
And then, but you're also like, there's no fucking way they're gonna do that. That's so simple. But that's what's great about 2 is I think that they still hint, hint, hint. No, that's stupid. Hint, hint, hint. No, that's
Then you
stupid.
find out who it is, you're like,
Yeah. Then
But
you
I
find
will
out that
say,
she was
like-
right out there in front of you the entire
Yeah,
time.
but
I will
she
say
was
that.
trying to like, and she was always trying to like be up Gail Weathers' ass, and Gail Weathers was like shit on her the whole time, and then finally asked her for like help, and then
Because she just
was,
thought
like,
she was some
killed her
hack
all the time.
reporter.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I did pretty. I mean, she's there out in front of everybody, and you just don't pay attention to her.
Yeah.
I will say the reveal of Mrs. Loomis as the second killer too, where they push Gail through first, and he was like, "Oh my, I gotta have a partner," and Gail comes through, and I was like, "No shit!"
She
like,
lost her fucking mind.
I was like, "Oh my god!" And then when the reporter, it was like almost like let down. You were like, "Oh really?"
got Gail
Like this
first.
side player, and then
Yeah.
it was like, "Oh, it's Mrs. Loomis." Okay, like that makes it more interesting, I guess. But we'll talk about Three's killer in a minute.
And then, and I will say, this is our first family members that were not in the first one that we will be kind of a trend in all the fucking sequels
I
that
know.
we get introduced to in each one of the following movies.
Yes.
Oh, we
So-
didn't mention this person before? Okay, yeah, they're a family
Yeah.
member that we just never mentioned. But
in
they're
the
here now.
In the 2000 film Scream 3, we get a lot of family trauma going on. Apparently,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, okay, look, I'm just gonna say it right now. 3 is my second favorite of all of them, and it's high second. Like,
So
and
we're
I get
talking
it.
Scream 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah. And I get it. Like, look, I totally understand the problems with this movie. The gore isn't there. Like it's funny. It's a comedy. But I get it for what time it was in. I think that there's some really interesting points that, like, if you haven't watched it since the early 2000s, like, you should go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, like I said, I just rewatched it. Like, I get they all right. So it's post Columbine 2000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's not a lot of gore. America was sensitive at the time, understandably.
Well, so we don't have Kevin Williamson in this one. He is not the writer of Scream
Oh, I didn't know
3.
that.
Yeah, so he had given them about 25 pages like of where he thought Scream 3 should go, but he had other commitments. So Scream 3 is written by someone else based on his characters, as I believe the way that they say
Which,
that.
yeah, I think they do on the 4 and 5. It's just, he's a little nod, but it's based on.
I think he wrote 4. He didn't write 5.
Yeah, no, 5, yeah.
Was my 4. No.
You have this like post-Columbine thing. So the original 3 plot was supposed to be they go back to Woodsboro. There's a large portion of it that was supposed to be in the school, and Stu is supposed to be the killer. Like he survived the original one.
Why couldn't we
and-
get? Oh my God!
Why are you taunting us with what could have been?
Just make the movie, you bitches. I'm sorry.
Which is also why I think everyone thought that Stu was going to be the killer in the newest installment, because it's already like been put out there by Wes Craven that like Stu was potentially alive and able to come back. So but because, as you said, we're dealing with like the aftermath of Columbine, and people really came down on like music, but especially movies and video games, about like their gore level, about like the level of blood and like violence especially. And so that is why 3 is definitely a comedy.
I mean, I was going to throw out too another movie that came out, I believe, before part 3 is Scary Movie, which made a fuck ton of money.
Yeah,
and
the first one was...
I would believe they went, we need to put some more humor in this, because like we just did a parody movie that just made a shitload of money. So because it seems a lot of forced comedy in part 3.
Yeah,
and I'm talking to you, Parker Posey.
There is
exactly
a lot of forced comedy.
I love her character in 3.
I like
think
Parker
she
Posey.
carries that
Look,
movie.
I'm a huge Christopher Guest fan. I love all of his fake documentaries, and she's in almost every one of them. I can't stand her in this movie.
She's also in.
Isn't
she also in Doom Generation?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, she's playing almost the same a couple of the same type of characters she's played in the Christopher Guest ones. I don't know. I can't stand her in this movie, and maybe that's one of the reasons it rubs me wrong.
Like Tully?
What's that?
What's his face? Security guard. Sweetie.
Oh, Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton.
Stone.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No, Patrick. Come on, it's Patrick Warburton, man. Come on, man.
I know, but I there's just so much inside Hollywood wink stuff that happens in this that
Well, okay, so that...
And I like sometimes inside Hollywood wink kind of stuff, and it just didn't work for me in this one.
Now, I do not like this film, but I will acknowledge what it was also talking about with Hollywood and old school Hollywood before they actually made a show about it on HBO. I think it was HBO, called Hollywood, where these actresses were just taking advantage of and used like as fuck toys for all the execs to get their name out and get these roles. I mean, that's a fact. So Sid's mom was basically used as a sex toy among all these execs in that back room. But like that has come out as fact of what Hollywood was.
Yeah.
So it is. I mean, I will give you that. It's way ahead of its time.
For coming out in 2000, that is very hardcore, and I give it the utmost respect for that, because, like I said, the data has shown that is, and between men and women. Like, there were Hollywood execs that were utilizing men, like Rock Hudson. He got exploited in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. I mean, even like Terry Crews has come out recently and said stuff.
Well,
like
he
that,
he said he was at a party and one of his producers it's fucking crazy, and it's today, and this is like.
Well, and
this
also,
is reminiscing on the 70s. Sorry.
Harvey Weinstein is the executive.
I know. I was just about to mention. You do know which company released all these movies.
I just don't pay attention to Weinstein's name anymore. But that did not.
From what I can tell from like watching so much like documentary and like side story stuff about this, it seems like Bob Weinstein was like the one who was really hands on with these. It doesn't seem like Harvey had a lot of input on
that's
these,
because
but
Harvey did a lot more.
I mean, they have the same name, but that doesn't mean they're the same
Harvey
person.
did a lot more of the pushing Best Picture stuff with Shakespeare in Love, things like that. So the less dangerous one was more into the genre type franchises.
Less touchy Weinstein. I mean, just saying. No, but like that was a huge conversation piece in this film, and that. If anybody's seen this movie and didn't realize that, because I mean, they literally, that's what they go to. I forget his name, but
Milton.
Lance Hendricks' character, and he's like, hey, and then they go to his house, like, hey, you had a secret room. It's like, all right, you don't have a secret room for screens. You have a secret room somewhere else. I mean, come on, man. Like, there's some dirty shit going on. Like,
I
You
mean,
know?
yeah, I'm even like when Parker Posey's character does die, she's like behind the mirrors in that bedroom, and I'm like, there is something that's just so creepy and
Yeah.
disturbing about
Cringe,
that.
right?
Yeah,
So
like,
cringe.
that there's these like two-way mirrors that are in these bedrooms.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much that's I feel like, you know, subtext, especially in the like later scenes of this movie, that if you haven't watched it in like a post Me Too world, which I hate saying stuff like that, but like if
Yeah.
you haven't seen it post Me Too stuff, like I feel like people should go back and watch it because it is really
Agreed.
interesting.
Agreed.
And I'll say there's other stuff I love about this movie.
yeah. Like, I mean, I get. Oh, yeah. Yes, you dive into that. You dive. Into
I love. You said you didn't like Parker Posey, but
it's-
I love her and Gail like as the buddy cops almost.
Yeah,
in this
that's
movie.
It's a begrudging, but
And
like, Gail
that's-
hates it the whole time.
And
She's like,
I
fucking hate
feel
you.
Gail's like,
And it's like, oh god.
it just seemed forced to me.
Yeah.
Detective Wallace, I think, who is the like deadpan guy who has the like, I'm gonna go dust for fingerprints with Jane Pauley. I think he was so underutilized in this movie because his little like deadpan like one-liners are just so good. Like to me, they hit me right in like the comedy sweet spot, I guess.
Have either of y'all seen a movie, Robert Alden movie called The Player?
No.
Yeah, it's called The Player. But it's pretty much kind of it's got Tim Robbins. It's kind of a wink into Hollywood and how things work. And I think the problem is that if you've seen that and then you watch Scream 3, you feel like you're just watching The Player. Like they just kind of plagiarized a lot of The Player with that. And I think that might have been what also distracts me when I watch it, is that it's got so much of the same beats of this other random ass movie that isn't a horror movie.
I have not seen that, but I will say we basically went into some of the deep subtext with the film. But there is like surface level stuff where all the actors said like, I didn't sleep with him because to do this, blah blah. I didn't fuck him for this, yada yada. Like literally all the main actors
Yeah.
are like constantly saying like, I didn't do this to end up here. Mm-hmm. And that's a surface level. That's
Yeah.
like the easy shit.
Oh
to
God,
crack.
Roman, remind me not to sleep with him again.
It's just so much surface level shit with this film that those are actually the comedic. I feel like those are the comedic nods to it, where like
Sure.
the actual story is giving you like the nasty because then it's not coming across as like we're trying to make this such a heavy, serious film.
Sure.
You know,
Look, Scream 3 is definitely the most Scooby-Doo out of the
Thank you.
whole
Yes.
series. But because of that, I feel like it's the one that if I'm like having a bad day or if I just want to rewatch something from this series,
you watch the first one.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll watch
Stu
one,
will
but I'll
always
watch
cheer
3
you up.
too.
I'm saying Stu
Stu
will
will
always
always-
cheer you up, man.
I mean, even just like the scene where like Ghostface is chasing Tyson, the token black character, which he
Yes.
calls out himself, like he's running away and he's like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" Like,
Yeah.
as he's running away, like there are just so many. Like it really is very Scooby Doo, and I get that, and I get that there's problems with it, but I also just think it's a really fun movie to watch.
so let me get this straight. Randy, just to be on the safe side, recorded
Hey, just in case it was a trilogy, guys.
just in case.
Just in case it was a trilogy.
Yeah.
Again,
All right.
they had to shoehorn him back in
And
there
I will
to
say
give the
this: I
rules.
remember when I watched that in the theater, and when he showed up, there was a united groan that happened because where he was fun in the first one, and ironic that he
solid.
gets killed in the second one,
He was
Yeah.
solid in the second one, yeah.
but he was
Not
forced in the third one with the
Ugh.
random sister with the video. He did this just. No, you don't need it. You
Nope.
don't need it.
you didn't need it.
There's a lot of stuff in 3 that I would say you don't need, but again, it doesn't
Well, like
stop
Patrick
it.
Dempsey, you totally don't need him in the third one because
Well,
he was a useless cop.
So he was definitely put in there to be a love interest because the plan was obviously when they talk about it being a trilogy, the plan was to end it after the third one, like button it up, give these people like a happy ending, you know, whatever. And in the most recent Scream movie, they mention her husband twice, and his name is Mark. and Detective Mark Kincaid is Patrick Dempsey's character.
Holy shit.
So,
shit.
But again, this goes back to your problem that you had with 4, where it's like, oh, okay, so they've been together for 21, 22 years now, and they just didn't mention that.
anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, hey, wait,
This is what happens in the Scream movies, because we also, I think, get introduced to another family member, and the third one that had never, ever been mentioned
this
before that.
ties into the Hollywood thing where she got used and got pregnant, and then you have him.
Yeah.
This is definitely my least favorite killer reveal. The fact
so
that
bad.
they, once again, it's a person that Sydney doesn't meet until the last scene when it's revealed, just like, Debbie Salt's character. I mean, obviously she knew that character as Mrs. Loomis, but originally Angelina was supposed to be the second killer. Emily Mortimer's character, the one who was playing Sydney. And they kind of used that story in Scream 4 with Judy Hicks. So it was supposed to be this like girl who went to high school with Sydney and like was really jealous of her. And so they kind of played with that with Judy Hicks' character in the 4th movie. But I guess they realized that was a bad idea. Like, one of the things they realized was a bad idea.
But no, so like
I feel bad. Like you, like I'm gonna defend Scream 3.
Sure.
I'm gonna defend it. But
look,
we're trying to be we're being nice.
Being
Look,
nice,
there's,
being nice.
it has problems. Like the whole storyline with her mother, like seeing her mother, I hated all of that stuff.
Yeah, that whole that whole shit where she's having to visit her mom, that made no sense for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
At all.
It didn't. And like, look, I know she's been through some trauma and she's just trying to live her life, and I get that there's leftover stuff from that, but I really didn't like that. The other thing that kills me is that Gail checks Roman's pulse when he is dead. And obviously he's the killer, so I was like, what the fuck happened there? And then the third and probably most glaring is the technology to be able to mimic someone's voice that doesn't even exist really today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the big one. I mean, from the very beginning with fucking Cotton was like, wait a minute. All right, how the fuck?
I loved his cameo in this movie, though.
Yeah,
it was so perfect with his 100% Cotton show.
Yes.
100% Cotton.
Oh man.
100
I wanted that to happen.
That's OG Scream to me. Like, when he's in the traffic jam and he talks about that, I'm like, oh no, that's 96 Scream. That's that fucking tongue-in-cheek 100% Cotton.
That's one of those things. If that movie, if Scream 3 had come out today, you would have had a mini web series, like just
100% Cotton.
just to help promote Scream 3, because that's what they do now.
Exactly.
And that's
you
one
lean
thing
in on that shit, man.
we missed out on.
We missed out on that. I would totally take 100% Cotton, dude. I would take that shit. That was awesome. But you're right. Like we can't do that now in 2022. Why was that a thing in 2000?
It was a plot device. Like, again, I told you, this one is definitely the most Scooby-Doo, but I do think it's the most fun.
Well,
and,
but
like,
it did come out a few years after Face Off, where, again, the microchip in your throat makes you sound like John Travolta, all right?
All right,
So, again, I mean, we're not
And
really...
grab underage chicks' asses.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that-
yeah,
that too?
and add
Yeah.
pounds and take pounds away of the shape. Yeah, but so I'm saying
That's all
Face
the
Off.
Tire Fire movie. that
Face Off
was.
already
Face Off
kind
was
of
fucking-
said a microchip does it all. So
Yeah. All right. So again, this is the neutered of all the Scream movies, but I will say, Tom Prince's explosion death was fucking hilarious.
it's so bad.
He's just looking out the window like, ah!
It's like he could read everything except for the line that was going to kill him. And
Yeah.
there's enough gas in that house to blow it up like that, but nobody smelled it before then.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
yeah. That always bothers me.
It's
It's
just
just like
hilarious.
my sense
I
of smell left
I
right
lean
there.
into that one. That's just hilarious. I'm like, okay.
And there's the cameo we have to bring up, because if you've watched Evening with Kevin Smith or you've seen anything
Yes,
with Kevin
James
Smith,
Silent Bob. Yes,
Right.
yes,
Connie Chung.
yes.
but I'm just saying, literally, that's the whole. Kevin Smith has a whole thing about how Jason Mewes, after they got paid for that cameo, all he wanted to do was just keep making cameos because it was the easiest work to just have a day of just getting paid, getting free food, and doing shit like that. So
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
Shit.
But definitely caught me off guard when we watched that because you're like, okay, it's going on. And I know it's Hollywood. And you're like, wait, is that Jay and Silent Bob?
Well, if you think about it, it's 2000. When did Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back come out?
Right after that.
I was about
That's
to
the
say
thing.
right around
And
the
then
same time.
Miramax, yeah, like a
Yeah,
little
I
approach.
mean,
Still
It
kind
makes
of
sense.
random.
Now knowing what comes out, it makes sense. You know, I remember skipping school to go see Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back because, fuck yeah. All right.
So then years pass.
That's enough of 3. 11 years pass, and we get Scream 4, which they actually utilized one of the letters to make this title, which they did not do in the most recent, which they failed to do.
I know. It would have been so easy to make that M into a Roman numeral 5, but
We're talking about the
Put
S.
an S into a 5.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
an actual 5.
Five.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I didn't think about the Roman numeral.
yeah, like just color the middle. The M is already like further
would've-
Did we
down.
just Did we all just do better than the promotion?
We all just dropped bombs.
Yeah.
Fucking seriously. Holy
There's somebody
shit.
going, oh, god damn it. Didn't even think about it.
Fuck that up. Yeah, so we got Scream 4. Yeah. Now, this one I really do enjoy. I do. I enjoyed it a lot.
This one is, I will admit, the first time I watched it, I didn't hate it, but it just kind of, it was better than in my opinion, than 3. There was things that rubbed me the wrong way, but rewatching it, definitely I started to appreciate stuff in there that I didn't appreciate the first time I watched it. I'll throw that out there.
I mean, I think it's funny to see. I think it's awesome to see Dewey as a sheriff. I think it's funny to see Gail Weathers like drop down a couple pegs.
Sure,
because
yeah.
she was just so like asshole-ish. in the
Well,
other
ball
films.
busting career woman.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but that was definitely her character. And you can see how much she's like struggling with that in this movie, especially like when put into very sharp, obvious comparison to like Sydney, who has written a book that is obviously doing well. And the kind of like jealousy that you can get from Gail's character in a lot of this movie.
Which I will say, Sydney writing that book, I thought was a good companion piece to how 3 ended.
Sure.
With
yeah.
her like leaving the gate open and not wanting to feel like she's locked in her own house. Like I felt like out of all the things that came from 3 into 4, I felt like that was a very positive note into her character.
Sure, yeah.
And she actually did come out of the self-isolation she was imposing on herself because of what happened to her way back, within a year of each other. But still, she's not a prisoner to her own fear anymore. You know, she didn't even like. I remember she didn't turn her fucking her security system on. And you're right, Mark was there at the fucking house at the end of 3.
Mhm. When she leaves the door open, that part drives me insane.
Yes, she's like, it was like, what movie watch? She was like, oh, you gotta come see. And God, they actually give it to you in 3 too, because he like is at the house with them. Why the fuck is he at the house?
Yeah.
Holy shit! You're right, but they give it to you.
Yeah, they do. They give you that in the newest one. There's a lot of like weird like fan service stuff in the newest one, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't know. What's everyone feel about 4? How do you think they handle that well? I feel like
The first time I watched it, some of the teenage character, the high school characters annoyed the shit out of me. Watched the second time, not as much, but that first time, like just the recording guy. I'm trying to draw a blank.
you
on
guys
it.
doing the video.
Yeah,
blog, the
that
vlog,
got obnoxious. But once you utilize that, the second time I watched it, it didn't annoy me. That first time though, I was like, shut the fuck up, because everything was movie references and things that it got kind of bothersome. But besides that, I mean, I thought some of the kills were pretty good. I like the scene with them at the barn or whatever with
the
Sabathon.
Sabathon.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
yeah.
That shit was, I wish someone was fucking throwing a horror movie marathon.
Oh, I
like
know.
that.
When I was in high school, I would have killed for something
No
like that.
shit.
Obviously.
Literally.
and
No,
I
it's
like
fine,
throwing
it's fine. Okay.
was it Emily Roberts like as the just kind of the misdirection type thing. So
I mean, we're again getting new family members in this one. with
Yeah.
those. I
at least
will
she's
tell you.
younger, and like we didn't have to be introduced to her in the first one as my little like baby, like what I'm saying, like at least she's younger. Up to that point, it was older family members that we just never heard of before. So.
I loved her as the killer in this one. I mean, that scene at the end where she's like doing all of that stuff to herself and like runs herself head
That
first.
shit was
Yeah.
rad, dude. Like,
I
she
mean, it
stabs
was
herself.
really
like,
good.
It's
fucking
just like a
jumps
scene
into
out
a
of Fight
table,
Club.
Yeah.
Like, fucks herself up hard, dude.
Yeah, so I loved her in that. You know, there's obvious issues with, you know, just height differences.
Oh, yeah.
But,
No, you can't start doing that on most
but
of these.
you
No, I
really
was looking
can't
at
get
that.
into can't get into that too much with these movies because, you know, obviously they're trying to hide who the killer is throughout, and there's the same problem with the newest one. But
There's the same. Well, if you think about this, there's the same problem with all of them because there's a little bit of a height difference. If you just even go back to the original of Matthew Lillard
Yes.
to like Skeet, he's a bit
Yeah.
taller. So
a little taller, a little
yeah.
taller, a little bit.
So yeah,
Little bit.
it's
I mean,
almost
sure.
like don't think about that. Don't worry about it.
And then the filter. Do you want to talk about the filter that's kind of on this whole movie that drove me insane when I first saw it? Like it just there is a weird like filter that they chose to do the whole movie in, and it makes lights
Makes it
like
fuzzy.
really bright and it makes
Oh.
stuff kind of fuzzy.
Yeah, no, it
and
makes shit fuzzy. Yeah.
I don't know. It drove me crazy when
I didn't know what
first
filter you were
saw
talking about, but no, like I having just watched it like 2 days ago, I'm like, my TV. What? Wait a
You
minute.
talking about the focus on focus?
Yeah.
Like,
This shit's,
like
my shit's clearer than this. What the fuck is going on? Like I was like irritated. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is stupid. Why is my shit? Look
it almost seemed
fuzzy?
like the director was trying to Wes Craven was trying to draw attention to certain things, but it didn't work. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you do know the other killer is like a Culkin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rory.
oh come on,
Rory
yeah.
Culkin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can look at
Someone
I mean,
can say the
Charlie.
more successful
That's what
Culkin at this point.
Yeah,
I mean,
no shit.
I mean, he's in one of my
I
favorite
thought he
movies
was
of all
awesome,
time.
though,
So
as the horror guy, like the knowledgeable. He's like he was like replacing Jamie, but
Yeah,
cooler.
this time Randy gets the girl. I don't know. I didn't love him as the second killer, but I feel like after the first one, especially in these like two killer scenarios, I feel like there's like a kind of throwaway one. Like, so Timothy Oliphant was, I think, kind of the throwaway one, even
Totally.
though he did all the kills
He was-
except for Randy. But
he
like,
was totally the throwaway. Yes, but I guess my thing with him is I really love his line where he's just like stabs her and he's like, I'm sorry. He's like, wait, I was with you for like 2 years and now you notice me?
Yeah.
Fucking really? Like he's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I love that because he's just like I've been here the whole time.
yeah,
And now you just waited too long. Sorry.
this is making a move.
Yeah, he's so good. So good. Oh, I love that shit.
and maybe that is another factor is that I now appreciate that actor more because of stuff like Scott Pilgrim and
Yeah.
things like that. That going back to watch it now, I'm like, okay, he's not as annoying because he's kind of played that
I
character.
don't think it was ever annoying. Like even at the beginning when they first go into school that one day, he was like, "Yeah, I'm fucking, yeah, I'm really
The
into
other
her. I
guy
want
is
to date
the
her."
annoying one.
And the other dude's like kind of laughing at him. He's like, "Oh yeah, fuck me, right?" Like,
Which the other
like, I don't have
guy,
a- like,
the other friend
yeah.
is from damn.
yeah, with his fucking video bullshit.
But
yeah.
Which, what kind of bandwidth does that
Seriously,
Like,
the voice changing bandwidth. I mean,
to be constantly filming and live streaming in 2011?
and
No
well, it's
shit.
solar powered, obviously, because
Yeah.
you
He never
would-
charges it.
Yeah, you
Never.
would just have it has one of those giant batteries. Like the backpack is just a battery the entire time. Like, yeah, I
Just
mean,
all around a battery.
stop thinking about it because then you'll hurt your brain.
Yes, exactly.
I do like that this one kind of leaned into the whole like we live in Woodsboro, like you kind of have to like horror movies if you live here or no horror movies if you
Yeah.
live here. I love that they leaned into that in the fourth one. I don't know, like I love the fourth one definitely like ramped it up coming off of like 3 because it would have been impossible not to ramp it up coming off of 3.
have
but
to.
like
I feel like you had to be like dead to not ramp it up. Yeah,
Plus, this one kind of like says like the motivation is inspiration from the original more.
I want to
And-
be famous.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is that this one is us watching it going, ooh, like in a way, in this twisted way, because 2 and 3, it's still in the family. And I guess still 4 is still in the family, but
Yeah.
but the motivation isn't like you did me wrong. It's more of let's try it again.
You have to die for me to get famous.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which influencers weren't really a huge thing in 2011. And I love the line where she's like, what am I going to do? Go to college, grad school, work?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that is such a beautifully written line. What am I going to do? Work?
Yeah.
But I appreciate that twist, like at the end,
Yeah.
because you almost were like, nah, that seems too easy to do. Like it, you think about it for a second, and I think then it doesn't really catch you off guard.
Yes.
In my opinion.
It does.
Well, and they have that kind of like tie through red herring of the person who gets like cut on the arm, because Jerry O'Connell's character got cut in the same place that her character does in 4, and then Richie's character in 5 gets cut in the same place on that same arm.
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
But Joe O'Connell turns out to be not the killer.
Yeah.
Versus the other
Even
ones.
though that's we assume it was the boyfriend,
Yeah.
because it was the boyfriend in the first one, boyfriend in the 5th one. All right, so
But no, I think my favorite kill out of 4 has got to be Trevor's. Got shot
Where
in
he
the
gets
dick,
shot in
bro.
the dick.
He got shot in the dick. Like, without a doubt. He got shot in the dick. Like, in the head, but mostly the dick. Like, ow! I want to be, just shoot me in the head. Fuck, don't shoot me in the dick. I don't want to feel that. Just shoot me in the head.
I am not the girl you cheat on. I was like,
it's like, oh,
fuck.
fuck.
But she's fucking Charlie behind the scenes. So it's like, come on.
it's a little sadistic, and it's a kind of a just cheap kill, but God, with the cop Anthony
Anthony,
when
yeah.
he's just swatting in the air and shit like that, like it's just something so fucked up about that. Like,
So that's actually allegedly, according to the commentary, based off of a real
I read that.
thing that happened where like this guy got stabbed in the head and was then just like walking around.
You're just
after
blind,
that.
and
Yeah.
but you're just like, wow, that's so fucked up. Like, you're like,
I guess it depends where it hits the frontal lobe. Yeah, it wouldn't. Maybe it wouldn't. It's not going to like be lights out.
Yeah.
I guess, initially. Yeah.
I love the kill of Alison Brie in the parking structure. Just that chase scene where it's like they put the camera underneath the car, and then you're like, oh, the killer's under the car, and she like gets down, and then it's like, oh, that's clear. Like, it was one of the times when I feel like really started to play with the expectations of people. Again, jump scares became such a huge thing in horror movies, like leading in the early 2000s, late 90s. And so they really started like playing with those expectations of like, oh, they expect the killer to be underneath the car, or they expect the killer to be behind the door. So instead, let's like just play with them. Although I will say, I think 5 took that a little too far in that one scene.
which scene?
The West scene where they were like, oh, we're going to have him open 15 doors.
Oh, God.
Oh,
you don't have
yeah.
the kitchen where it's like,
Yeah.
open this, no. And I remember commenting, we were watching that, like,
I was like,
how many
fucking doors, man?
How many fucking doors? Yeah,
Jesus.
that went a little overboard. Yeah,
Yeah, little
I
over.
would say my runner-up favorite kill was Olivia's.
Yeah, gutted on that
Dude,
bed,
that
and
was-
there
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah,
blood everywhere.
I think that was not only reminiscent to the first Scream, but also to the first Nightmare. Because it was just blood all over the walls.
yeah.
Also,
like,
the first time they shot that, they had like a doggy door over her like neck. They actually like took it out in post because they didn't feel like it made any sense, because it was supposed to be this like callback to Tatum's death in the first
Oh,
one.
okay.
And I'm so glad they took that out, because I was just like, really?
You're upstairs in the bedroom. How does that even make sense?
Exactly,
Right.
it doesn't.
But like the fact that like he Ghostface pushed her out the window, friends are watching, like she's just out, still getting stabbed, yanked her back in, and guts out.
Yeah.
And then that's how you find it. It's like, yeah, that was probably the most gruesome death since the first one, I feel like as far as just gratuitous violence.
Sure, and I think this movie really introduces like this different side of Sydney too. Like, this is where she's like running towards the danger.
Yes.
It's not like this isn't torturing her anymore, and you can kind of tell that. I will say too, I know it's a cheap one and it's super fast, but I love the through the mail slot.
Yeah.
kill.
Yeah.
That is a good. It's like, oh, but
Where
Done.
her aunt just like
takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. That was a clever, just quick kill. Yeah.
even the like opening of 4, which I will say is probably my least favorite opening of any of the Scream movies.
Kind of like the
Just
meta.
the top of the top.
the
of-
like 6 and then 7.
But I will say this though. But you get to actresses that you recognize, and then like,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, so where's the killer? Oh wait, there
Yeah.
she gets stabbed. Like, oh, never mind, they were right. She was right there in front of her.
And
So-
then you get another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love that they talk about since we're not doing stab trivia as as the final questions, stump the host questions. I love that they talk about how like Stab 5 has time travel and like
That's right.
but actually that is one of my biggest problems with the newest movie is there's a pretty large plot hole that they step right into for me, like as being somebody who is such a huge fan of like not only the movies but like the Stab series inside of the movies. Like there's a pretty large problem.
Oh yeah. What is that?
So the whole movie they talk about how Stab 8 is like, I guess, the Halloween resurrection of this of the Stab series.
Oh yeah.
Where
fuck that movie.
they were
I mean,
like,
it motivates them to.
yeah, but so here's my biggest problem. Like in 4, we get Stab 6 and Stab 7. So we know that like Stab 7 is made prior to Scream 4 happening, like the events of Scream 4 happening. And then in this newest movie, they talk about how Stab 8 like really went off the rails and he has a flamethrower and he has like a gold mask and all this other stuff. Well, the entire motivation of these killers is to give them source material for a new movie, but it's like they already had source material from Scream 4.
Yeah.
And Wes even says that like his mom is a character in some of those movies, but that doesn't make sense either because like if they have only gotten up to Stab 8 and there was never any movies made off of the source material from Scream 4, like again, I know,
yeah.
dude, this is me being like time zones in Halloween 3, but like it's something that bugged me because
Yeah,
I was like,
that's the thing.
I was like, but they already had source material. They already had real killings that took place like since the events of the original 3 that they could have used for another Stab movie. So that is my probably largest problem with this movie. And I don't know, maybe there were more Stab movies that they just didn't talk about in here, but I feel like with everybody being so mad about Stab 8, it felt like it was a recent problem.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like that was where it like stopped at in
Yeah.
the franchise. I think my biggest problem is this fucking movie was fucking slow as shit.
It's funny to me that you say that because like when I went back and was like taking notes on the movie, like there's really not that many different scenes to this movie.
I think it's just the kills. There's not a lot
kills
of.
are so-
There's for it following the trend of all the other Scream movies. There's not tension scenes, but drama scenes, and to me, kind of a waste because I don't care about the characters. Is the best way I can put it. Like,
I mean, I do love the idea as somebody who has like different colored hair. I do love the idea of the pink-haired girl being the boring one of the group. Like that was really funny to me.
but that could also be a motivation. Like,
But God, was she the like I had almost forgotten about that character completely. And Vince at the beginning was such a throwaway character. Like we didn't get any backstory other than like, oh, he dated Liv last summer, and then it's like, oh, now he's dead, and now he's Stu's nephew.
yeah,
Like
Yeah, and I mean, all right, there were so many bad actors in this film that really fucking kills it for me. Like our main final girl, Sam. I mean, the actress, as far as looks go, had a little, like I said, Miranda Baccarat going on, but like as far as her acting capabilities, she was fucking garbage.
my cousin who went to go see this with me, she was like, why is her lip filler so bad? And I
she
was like,
was-
I think they were trying to give her that like almost like bucktooth look that Sydney had in the first movie.
is that what they were doing?
I don't
'Cause-
know.
It's not
I
even-
mean,
it's not her look. I'm
that
not,
was
like-
my thought.
That I gave the opinion on the look, but I'm talking about like her acting was just fucking terrible.
Well, if you had a 2-minute scene of her admitting to her younger sister about like she caused the parents a divorce and she found out her dad's actually the serial killer or something like that, but we get that scene, I feel like 2 more times with more interactions with her sister again and with her boyfriend and with somebody else and then if that wasn't enough, then you get imaginary friend dad
Oh,
talking to her.
Talk about the de-aging of Skeet
So
Ulrich.
if it wasn't stressed enough
terrible.
that Dad was Loomis from the original, you get conversation over conversation, and then you get imaginary friend version of him. That I don't care.
Like,
I just didn't care.
She looks to him for like acknowledgement at the end to kill fucking Stu. Like, what the fuck?
I hated that. I was like, why are we trying to give Billy Loomis a redemption arc?
No, he does not.
It would
No,
make sense.
it was
you're
weird.
negating the first one by trying to do that because Billy was a fucking horrible person.
It would have
who killed
made
people. Like
it set up that they were going to do something they had never done in any of the other Scream movies, and that maybe there's some kind of schizophrenia where she's blacking out that we don't know she's blacking out, and she is one of the killers. But no, it's not that. No,
that would have been more interesting.
Exactly.
I think if they go into the next one, that's kind of where I feel like they have set themselves up to go.
But they should have just done it here.
So, like Sam Carpenter, obviously, obviously referential. But like Sam Carpenter, in my opinion, was not nearly as good of a final girl as Tara was. And like acting wise, character development wise, like Jenna Ortega is so good, I feel like, in this movie. And so what I would love to see if they do another one is that Sam has gone off the deep end with this like Billy thing, and then she becomes the killer, and then Jenna Ortega's character becomes the Sydney.
That would be okay, because we talked about that where I was like, no, Tara was awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking Sam was shit.
I almost would have rather seen, and they could have set it up this way, is that Richie obviously knows Sam's history, knows who it is, and does everything possible to unlock that personality from Sam.
Yeah.
So he's not the killer, but he's pushing her. Like, he knows she's got, like, she's got some issues and psychotic issues, whatever you need to lean on. And he's not the killer. He's there to push her to where she becomes a killer from him, like, accidentally bringing up stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I know y'all's opinions on this. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I thought that it was they were never going to make a perfect Scream requel, but
I know that
I did like where it went for the most part. Like I said, there was the plot hole with the stab movies for me. I wasn't a big fan of Billy Loomis coming back. I did love, however, like I said, Stu was supposed to come back in 3. I feel like everybody who was on Reddit, especially once the trailer came out and they saw that it was in Stu's house, I mean, everybody thought that Stu was coming back in this movie as the
you had
killer.
rumors too.
We were fucking ready.
Oh,
they had images.
So, like,
dropped.
Matthew, he was on the set, like, he was there, like okay, where is he?
So hilariously, I called the 2 killers right, but for the wrong reason. I thought they were going to be Stu's kids. I thought
I called the boyfriend being Stu's son.
Because he acted very Stu-ish.
That's fucking Stu's son.
He is the
That-
closest,
that was,
in my opinion, of all the movies in the franchise to Stu, is the way he acts.
Yeah.
Like,
I loved the, like, I know, it's a bummer, it's me. I was
Yeah.
like, I loved that line, these little,
Yeah.
like,
he
throwaways.
definitely, I think he steals the show. He is definitely the best part of Scream 5.
agreed.
And even the line, like, when Tara, I guess, throws the phone at him in the hospital. And he's like, did you just hit me with a phone? So there is they really do play with it. And I will say, like, God, did they play with that Stu bit the whole time, like with the original questions being about who are the killers and her forgetting Stu. And then every conversation that happens about this, they're like, oh, Billy Loomis. Stu, like, doesn't even get mentioned. So I feel like the guys who directed this, I feel like they knew that was the rumor, and they fucking played with that through the whole movie.
I'll
like,
give you that.
Even in the last scene, even in the end credits, I was like, okay, where is he? He's gonna show up? Like,
Stu?
I was like, is he gonna, like, Twilight Zone us and, like, close the ambulance door? Like, I was, like, so ready.
Oh, that would have
like,
been rad though if he was like, hey.
I think my expectations, just from the guys that directed it, I really am a huge fan of Ready or Not. And I just thought it was going to be a lot more fun. I mean, that's the thing, is that there's just so many drag out parts that I just think are unnecessary, and just, like, have fun. Have some kills, have some stuff, big reveal at the end.
I mean, I feel like the kills in this are so different from the rest of the movies, because like even when we got these like gutted scenes like with Olivia in 4 or Casey in the first one, like this one I feel like sits with the kills and like it doesn't turn away from them like the other movies do. There is a lot of overkill in some of these kills, like with Richie and with Judy.
Oh, with Dewey.
Yeah.
Double stab.
Yeah. They were like, he's not coming back.
The double stab with the strength to lift up is done not by Richie, but by which that's a strong teenage girl.
That goth chick was picking dude up and was like stabbing. Amber wasn't doing that. Amber wasn't doing that.
I love that she tried to pull, like in the last scene, she tried to pull the little I got like sidelined by the fans, or like I got hyped up by this. And then in the last scene where she was like, you killed my best friend, and she's like, yeah, and he died like a pussy. I was like, damn. Okay. I was like, whoa, all right. Sure. But I will say it was interesting to me. I'm like, does this actress just have like a stunt double that does a lot of firework? Because she also gets set on fire in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
That's where I knew her from. That's where I fucking knew her from. Once Upon a Time. Yes.
So I was like, does she just have a stunt double that really loves doing like fire?
That's
work?
So funny. I didn't even think about that. Holy shit.
Well, and I love the whole, like, they hit her in the face with a bottle, and, like, she's like, fucking hand sanitizer? And I was like, oh, they're setting this up for something, because I thought it was a bottle of, like, I don't know, tequila or something like that.
Which is sitting on her face, which is just distracting.
Yeah, it was so goopy, but I was hand sanitizer in your eyes, though. That sounds horrible.
But it's just on her, as she's, like, saying shit, it's just slimy, like,
all right. Anybody else got anything to say about Scream 5?
I know you guys did like a separate episode.
If you couldn't tell from Lowdowns, does anybody?
No, I mean,
but I will also do the same voice with it because
I liked it. I feel like there are so many Easter eggs. There's so many little callbacks. Like I know we talked like off air about this, but they do confirm that Kirby is still alive in this one when they have the Dead Meat podcast or whatever they're calling it in this movie. They on the sidebar they have a YouTube suggestion that's interview with Kirby from the Woodsboro Massacre. So we do know for sure it's now canon that she did survive Scream 4. And the last video, just even more of them playing with us throughout this whole movie, is the real Stu Macher from Woodsboro alive?
Yeah.
So, like there are these little like Easter eggs, like her being married to Mark, or like even just the acknowledgement of Tatum, which doesn't really happen in any of the other movies. Like with Dewey having her ashes out and prominent, with Martha Meeks having the kind of shrine to Randy in the house. Yeah. Like I did really appreciate, like as a fan, like the acknowledgement of these people who were like important to the players that we still have in these movies.
That shrine was a little weird though. I mean, like I just don't know.
I mean, it was, but
you really like you're like it's like taking up half the wall. Like it was just kind of weird.
I mean, yeah, I will say, like, as somebody who had my husband lost a family member relatively early, and it is kind of like that, like, because when somebody's taken very young, especially in like a tragic circumstance, like the family does tend to like hold on to that. So it felt like, even though it was a lot, like it didn't ring like untrue to me, or like something that wouldn't have happened. But yeah, I clearly didn't have the same feelings. Like, were there problems with it? Absolutely. But I went to see it twice, and I didn't dislike it the second time, and I'm looking forward to seeing it another time too. Like, I'm trying to get my family to go see it with me.
If it's on somewhere, I don't think I'm going to intentionally see it again, but in the same instance, if it's on TV, I will give it a second chance that way, but I'm not gonna probably buy it or
I'm kind of similar. Like, I will rewatch it. It just in the right.
Are you sure?
This is coming off like I'm gonna have to do this term paper on Scream 5.
I mean, like,
so.
no, I've done that with a few films, and I'm not saying this will be one of them, but I've come out on the other end with a different perspective of the film, right? I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if that happened with Scream 5, but I would rewatch it, but it would need to be free and like in my face. And
I mean, even just some of the stuff that they did with reference to Wes Craven. Obviously, they had somebody in the film that was named Wes, and they killed that character off just so they could have the party for Wes. And like, you have for Wes at the credits with like the birds because he was a bird watcher aficionado. Like, I mean, there's so much stuff that's such like a, just trying to pay homage to Wes Craven in this movie. And I do think they did a good job. Like, I get the pacing was a little bit different. And obviously, like, the thing that you talked about is very true. Like, I really wanted more chase scenes. That is the one thing that I really felt was
really
missing
trip
from
and
this.
they stumble, because every Ghostface stumbles.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's the thing is, like, there really isn't any chase scene in this whole movie. Like, if you go, like, one of
the twins got chased a little bit.
I mean, kind of. Like...
Yeah, that's like it.
That, I will say, is something that I was so happy about because one of the biggest problems I had with the like opening scene is when her, like, she couldn't yell to her parents. I was like, she has the phone in her hand. Just throw the phone. Yeah. Like, just like, and so when he was like trying to like get the phone GPS to be turned off and he couldn't do it because his hands were bloody, he threw the phone and I was like, thank God somebody figured out to throw the phone.
Fucking phone.
But
all right.
I also can't believe that he survived. I was shocked by that. This most recent movie, it barely has more kills than the first one. It's sitting at 8, I believe, which is like really low considering that Scream 4, especially if you take in the opening credits scenes, has 15. So it just... I don't know. Like, I was surprised by how many people they let survive this and how many people they're going to bring back if they do another one.
I think the big one, though, is that they kill one of the main ones finally. Cause
they had to.
He was stabbed in every fucking movie.
I mean, yeah.
He was literally stabbed in every fucking Scream movie.
He was getting close to like 30 times being stabbed, which, the blood has to stay in the body. Like, you just got lucky that many times, all right?
Well, and I feel like Dewey is the one who is constantly, like, the connection between Sydney and Gale and, the killing. So by killing him off, you give them an excuse to kind of not have to come back, even though I do think they are signed on for more movies.
Oh, God.
What are they going to do?
That's the other thing. Kirby is listed as a contact in Dewey's phone. So we know that he's in contact with her as well. So, like, there are these little, like, baby Easter eggs that are kind of hidden all over this movie. But I don't know. I didn't dislike the movie. I guess that's the big difference. Like, I would not tell people to not go see it. In fact, I would tell them quite the opposite. Like, go see it. Especially, like, I'm excited to go. I'll say this. I'm really excited to take my 15-year-old to go see this movie. Like, who... she has seen the original. I don't think she's watched any of the other ones with me because she just doesn't seem to be all that interested. But I'm excited to take her because, like, these are now people that are her age or, like, close on that are going through this. And I think that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about, like, the original movies is they were kids that were a little older than me and, like, felt like people that I would have gone to school with or known, So... I am excited to take her, and I would tell people, like, obviously it is a little bit of a brutal movie to take a young child to, but if you have a teenager, like, I really feel like it's, it's a fun movie for them.
Yeah, it's not too brutal for, like, a young teenager. I feel like the original was more brutal as far as the kills go. I mean, this one's basically just a lot of stabs. A lot of stabs.
A lot of stabs.
It's a lot of stabs.
Are we doing favorite kill from this one? Or did you already do that?
We can hear yours because we agreed on Dewey's Dewey's death.
Back scratch.
I loved Richie's. Like, I loved the, like, just complete overkill of Sam killing Richie.
I think we did agree with that.
That was
like,
gnarly. That was a gnarly
you fucked up. She's got a little serial killer in her, and you can bring that out when she stabs him over
like 21 times, I think.
That's awesome.
And then she shoots him 3 times.
Yeah.
And I was like,
she had to work out some shit.
I mean, honestly, like him being like, it wasn't
And
that hard to find you, and it wasn't that hard to fuck you either. I was like, I would feel some kind of way.
Here's the thing: is his plan
Fair.
almost would have been extremely successful if somehow he had killed, our other two characters, because like she is the perfect, like the whole setup
Patsy.
is and when they find his body, no, I was defending myself 30 times with a knife and 3 gunshots defending yourself. Like, so she's very lucky that there's 2 other people in that house that are still alive to say, no, she is, because
She's good.
One of the other lines, I actually wrote this one down. It was, "You want me to help you and the host of a morning show commit murder." And that's something I had never really thought about before now, is like, they're really not trying to like catch this guy and get him over to the police. They're like, nah, fuck you. Like, we're coming in here to clean house. And I was like,
that's true.
I never really thought about that before this movie.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, his death was that we did mention that. That was kind of like the honorable mention. I think it was just getting Dewey's death, and then also the way he died. It was just a double stab. Oh God, that would suck. Stab in the front, stab in the back.
Well, and the cinematography
That was a perfect time for a gut
that,
shot, though. Perfect time for like some disembowelment, and they didn't use it though.
Yeah, but I did really love the cinematography of like Ghostface standing over in kind of like that menacing way, because I don't feel like we get a lot of that like after kill hangout shot. But
is that what you kind of meant by sits on some of the kills?
Yeah, it really like it. Even with Casey, which I feel like is one of the like most brutal, or Olivia, which is another one that's super brutal. It's like we miss a lot of like we miss him spraying it on the wall.
The last thing you see is he's holding her out the window.
Yeah,
and that's it.
Yeah, so I think this one does a really nice job of just kind of like, oh, we're going to watch this girl stab this guy 21 times, or we're going to watch Judy get stabbed 8 times, or, we're going to watch while Wes gets this knife like pushed into his throat.
Yeah.
Which, while I appreciate that effect, was not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I really wanted more from those like scenes. I wanted a chase scene. I like how they, did a little bit of subverting stuff with having the man taking the shower instead of the woman taking the shower. But again, like some of that stuff felt really on the nose. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, this feels weird. It's a franchise episode with only 5 movies.
Yeah, I know.
Because most of them.
It's okay. I talked 2 movies worth for each one. So.
No, it's just all the other ones we've had at least like 8.
Yeah.
At least like 8 movies. So that's it for the Scream franchise episode. But that doesn't mean we're done. Before we get into the last part, we got to talk about all our sponsors and all that good shit. So go to GIPodcast.com, click on the links tab, click on the Amazon tab, and log in and shop through Amazon like normal. It costs nothing extra to you, but we get a little kickback. We appreciate that shit. We're all a little broke after Christmas. I'm just saying. Anyway.
Valentine's Day's coming up. Yeah. You got to get some shit now. Maybe take a while for shit to come. So hit that link. Get it now. Fuck.
Exactly. Well, especially with all the snowstorms happening. You never know. You got to just pre-order shit. It's fine. And the link right next to the Amazon link is TeePublic. That's where all the merch is for all the shows under the network, and plus just random tangential fun fucking designs that you can get on everything except koozies.
Magnet stickers, fucking banners.
No koozies. But magnet stickers, banners, shirts, hoodies, mugs, notepads.
Man, you're gonna lose your
bags.
fucking mind if they ever announce they're doing koozies. You're
will
they've done it, people.
I will do like a scary movie excitement explosion.
Yeah.
If they ever announce koozies, like,
oh, koozies.
And now that's done. It's time for
Stump the Host.
All right, so Stump the Host, guys. Here we go. First one of the year.
Oh, man.
You were only up by 1.
That's true.
I made a small comeback. That's all I'm saying.
Or I intentionally want to make it really dramatic. So I just fucked up in the last few.
Exactly. You fucked up. I wasn't better. You just fucked up, and that's why it's only 1 away now. It's not because at all. Because he's really good at trivia, and I knew this beforehand. This is why I thought this would be a fun thing to do on the podcast. But yeah. He's really good at trivia.
Well, I thought about being really petty and doing all stab movie trivia.
We would have just failed. It would have been a tie.
Yeah.
I do have one stab question in here, but I'm
decide who
it
goes
is
first.
all Scream or Scream adjacent, I guess, trivia.
All right.
All right.
Hopefully I get at least one right.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna force you guys to do my tiebreaker either way, so
Ooh.
just so
Oh,
you know.
geez.
All right.
Well, you can decide who goes first. It is up to you.
I have you first because I did try to tailor questions that I thought maybe you guys would get.
Oh,
so
wow.
To you guys.
Damn. She put some
I
work
wrote-
into it.
She wants the tie, so she's
wa-
like,
she wants the
I'm
tiebreaker.
influenced. I set it up this way.
All right.
All right.
Let's see. Oh.
In Scream 2, Laurie Metcalf's character is only referred to as Debbie Salt, Mrs. Loomis, or Billy's mother. However, Kevin Williamson has said that Mrs. Loomis shares a name with the actress that plays Annie in Halloween 1 and 2. Name that actress.
Oh, Halloween. Wait. Actress that plays
Annie.
Annie. Mm-hmm. Annie, I don't think Annie was in Halloween too.
I thought she was. If she isn't in 2, then, that's my bad, but
Annie, her last name is Loomis. Mm-hmm. It's Nancy Loomis.
it is Nancy Loomis.
But Annie was in Halloween 3. That actress was in Halloween 3, not in Halloween
Not
2.
2. Okay.
That's where I was confused.
Yeah.
That's where I was
Okay,
confused. Yeah, but
that's
Nancy
my
Loomis,
bad.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Nancy Loomis is right, so
okay,
you
cool.
did get it right.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet.
That's what confused me. It was like Halloween 2. I was like, she's dead.
But she's the mom in 3.
She's the mom in 3.
Yeah. All right.
Hunter. Scream is obviously known for its close ties to the Halloween movies. Scary Movie is a horror parody comedy that is based around the events of the first Scream movie. What is the name of the 1981 horror parody comedy that is loosely based around the original Halloween and starring a killer known only as the Breather?
Oh my God.
We can steal too, but I think he's going to. And I'm having trouble remembering it.
Holy shit. I fucking own this movie and I am drawing a blank and it's fucking killing me. Oh my God. I'm drawing a blank and it's yeah. If you can steal it, go ahead.
I'm going to throw out a guess. I don't know if you want to do.
I know it's just funny. It's just this is one of those blanks that I'm going to keep myself. I can literally point behind me right now that I own the fucking movie, but
It's called The Breather. I'm just gonna throw out a guess, and it's probably wrong. But isn't it Saturday the 14th?
no.
Okay.
It is. God damn it. You're going to say it, and I'm going to be so irritated because
All right.
Are you ready?
I
for
already guessed, so he doesn't have a. What is it?
It's Student Bodies.
Student bodies, god damn it. We're literally there's a counter at the bottom every time someone goes, "Hey, who's that over there?" And then a counter pops up right before they fucking die.
Yep.
It's amazing and god damn it.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I have.
It's one of those just brain farts where
I'm on a
I've seen it.
campaign to get people to see
Yeah,
this movie
no.
because it's hysterical. If you like any slapstick comedy, airplane type of stuff, please go watch
the
Student
killer
Bodies.
just
It is-
kills people with
Yeah.
trash bags half the time it's
it's really funny.
horsehead
Horsehead
book-
bookends?
Yeah, horsehead bookends.
I may or may not have made sets of horsehead
We're-
bookends for
yeah.
friends of mine.
Really? We're
Yeah.
literally he's the shop teacher's way. He's like, "Hello, who's there? Horsehead bookends? Who? Horsehead bookends?" Like it's that movie's so stupid and amazing, and I
Oh,
can't
the
believe
girl.
I fucking
What is
blanked
it?
on that shit.
Mrs. Shouldn't even be in the class. Anyways.
Yeah.
I mean, God, there's so many great lines in that. All right. You ready? This is I gave you both a 3-answer one, so
All right.
I'm sorry for being mean. What's your favorite scary movie is obviously a famous line used in all of the Scream movies. However, only 3 characters are ever able to give Ghostface an answer to this question. Casey Becker in Scream 1, Randy Meeks in Scream 2, and Tara Carpenter in Scream 5. What were their favorite scary movies?
Oh,
I tried to give you hints.
Casey was Halloween. No, it was Nightmare on Elm Street.
No, you weren't the first time.
Yeah.
I didn't give you anything, but
No,
if you get it right,
I don't
I'll let you
remember
know.
what Randy's was. I don't remember what any of the other 2 were.
All right, so it was Randy from
Scream 2.
Scream
So
2.
Jamie
Because
Kennedy.
right before he gets killed, he's talking to Ghostface. Mm-hmm. I just don't remember what he said. I literally don't remember what his favorite movie was.
yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that too. I'd say just Nightmare on Elm Street.
It's Showgirls.
Damn it! It is fucking Showgirls.
I know
He was like, Showgirls, horrifying.
Absolutely
He's like,
terrifying.
and part 5, it's the Babadook because we brought that up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember the Babadook.
Yeah.
God damn. All right, well, we need to. You. Still 1-0.
All right.
If I went off Nancy Loomis, I'll be happy.
God damn it.
All right, Hunter.
All right.
Of the 9 Ghostface killers that we have had in the movies, I'm not talking about that TV show.
Thank
Only
you.
3 reveal themselves to be the killer by removing the Ghostface mask. Which 3?
Fucking. God damn it. What's its name in part 2, I believe? Part 3, and. Fuck. I. Draw a blank on the last one, so. Is it.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
It's not part 5 because I guess part 4 with the Culkin, right? Well,
God, you're so close.
was it the
It was the niece.
God damn it!
She was like, "Floop."
I'm like drawing the fucking blank on that. Yeah. I was so that was.
It's up to you if you want to give it to him, but he did. He
I knew it was.
got the right movie wrong.
I knew
first.
it. Yeah. I don't know. How do you be the judge of that?
I mean, I already told you I'm going to force you to do my tiebreaker anyway,
Yeah.
so we'll
So-
give it to you.
All right.
All right, so it's 1-1.
All right. If you just said
For
the
the grace.
movie, yeah.
It's like your Niners game last week.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
God, you're so close.
I don't know. I was I was trying to remember the killers of fucking 4, man.
I mean, okay, so I tried to give you like slightly, I thought easier questions, but it's probably not. I'm sorry.
Oh, God, here we go.
Here we go.
All right, in the first Scream movie, Randy tells Stu that the cops are always off track when it comes to these investigations. What movie did he say would save them time if they watched it? If the cops watched it?
He's got this one. Oh, no, I don't know. Like,
Yeah. Could it be something that we had a killer filler on? Possibly a prom night?
Fuck.
Prom night, they'd save time.
I wanted to lie,
That's right.
but I wanted to give a little taunt.
He
so,
did
yeah.
say prom night. Now I remember that. Fuck.
All right.
All right, so you win. Well,
No,
unless I
no,
steal
you-
yours.
That's true.
Yeah. All
Unless I
right.
steal yours, and it's tied
All right.
again.
What real life horror director is credited as the director of the in-film movie Stab?
Real life horror director.
Real life horror director.
Real life horror director. Holy shit.
I will even give you the hint that it is not Wes Craven.
No, I would
Obviously.
assume.
Right. So then it's
Real life horror director.
John Carpenter.
It is not John Carpenter.
Oh.
I'm gonna go with Toby Hooper.
It is Robert Rodriguez.
Oh my God! I was
He's
thinking
not
that
just,
too.
but he's not just a horror director though. That's threw me off. He's also an action
But that's
director.
funny. As I was like, no. I was like, it could be Rodriguez, and I was like, no, that's.
Well,
but
then
it would
I
be.
rescind your steal from earlier, so
I
now
know.
we're in a tie.
But it, which makes sense because of Miramax.
Yeah, but Rodriguez wasn't just a horror director.
Well, no, but he was tight with Miramax. That's
know.
why. God damn it! Always go with your first instinct.
No, we're still gonna.
All right.
So
But I couldn't get Studi
So we're still,
bodies.
we're still 1-1 because he took the other bullshit one back. So.
All right.
There you go. So how do you want to do the tiebreaker? Do we want to just whoever yells first or what?
No, I already know how I want to do the tiebreaker. So there are a lot of answers to this. So we're gonna do sudden death knockout, which is answer for answer. If you double up or you get one wrong, the other person has a chance to get that one right, and then
This is new.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I know.
Let's
I had
see.
to be different.
Okay.
But it felt so perfect for y'all's show specifically. So, in Scream 4, Ghostface asks Kirby to name the remake of the groundbreaking horror movie in which the villain, but Kirby cuts him off and lists 15 different remakes.
Mm-hmm.
You guys do killer or filler. Start naming those remakes.
You have to name the 15.
I'm just no, it's just like one for one.
Prom night.
Prom night is one of them.
My Bloody Valentine.
That is also one of them.
At that point, oh Jesus, because that was 2011. Friday 13th,
That is one. Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Halloween.
That is yes, both are right. So back to Hunter.
Oh fuck! Did we already say prom night?
Yes.
Okay,
This
shit.
is Prom night.
Fuck him. I'm trying to think what he mentions because I'd say Evil Dead, but I don't think that's in
No,
there.
that came out in 2013.
God damn it. God,
already have
I'm
one.
stalling here.
Yeah. Nothing?
I'm drawing a fucking blank.
right.
You might...
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
That is one of them.
Son of a bitch.
The other ones that you guys did not get are Dawn of the Dead, The Hills Have Eyes, Amityville Horror, Last House on the Left,
We've literally done it.
When a Stranger
I know.
Calls,
Oh.
Black
When
Christmas,
Haven't done that.
Black Christmas.
House
son of a
Done
bitch.
all of them
House
except
of
for
Wax, The Fog, and Piranha.
we only haven't done 2 of those, 3
I
of
know.
those.
It felt
Yeah.
so perfect. For
It was.
me.
That
Oh
was
my
a perfect
God.
So I was like, I gotta do that
Sweet.
one.
I beat you by the Texas Chainsaw remake.
I had Evil Dead stuck in my head,
That's
and I knew
2013.
it.
I didn't-
I know.
It's 2013.
I know. That's the thing. Evil Dead, and I couldn't get Evil Dead out of my head to think of anything else.
Think of Dawn of the Dead, the one that was our first killer filler that you like jizzed all over.
I know.
That we
And I
both
was
did.
like, oh, that's probably not even mentioned in there.
No, it was
So,
mentioned.
I was trying to think of shitty remakes that we've covered.
No, it was. I mean,
Most of the
some
ones
of
we had
them-
mentioned.
Majority
That's the thing. The ones we had mentioned, most of them were the,
all right,
the show
so
ones. Oh man,
We're tied.
we're tied.
We're tied.
Oh
bro.
shit!
Fuck, man.
Goddamn brain fart with student
that was a
bodies.
fun something to host. Thank you. Emily.
You're welcome.
It
Thank you
was.
guys so much for having
Frustrating and fun.
me. I'm sorry.
Majority of fun.
I
If
mean,
it's
I
not a
could
little
have come out
frustrating,
with the
then,
stab ones and asked you guys which stab movie had
Again,
time
you
travel.
would have
in.
had. I might have remembered 5,
Yeah.
but probably not. Like, I think that was reference to the shitty Friday 13th Part 5 sequel. They were just saying how stupid 5 is.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm going with. All right. So, but thank you. That was a lot of fun. And if you and I are tied, we'll see how this goes next full length. Ooh.
Oh shit!
Oh my God. Oh,
Well, congratulations, good sir, and I'm very
Thank you.
honorable, and I'm not going to talk shit. So
thank you, sir.
Yes, yes, yes.
Nor shall I. Nor shall I.
Yeah, yeah. God damn it! We need to get back to shit talking.
No, because then-
Nobody wants to hear us congratulate each other, right?
Maybe they do. You don't know. Maybe they're like,
No,
good
they're
sport,
like,
good
talk
sport, sir.
shit.
Good sport. Yeah. Maybe it wouldn't take my.
There are no
lead.
cocks in either mouths. You know, usually that's how.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That's,
Maybe if I see the lead, I'll end with like I just put my cock in your mouth.
yeah,
How's the taste?
and then you'll
That's my
never
dick,
have the
bitch.
lead
That's
ever again. Anyhow, let's finish this up.
So anyway, hit us up at GIPodcast.com. Check out all these shows under the network. There's something for everybody. And also hit us up at lowdownbrown.gui@gmail.com. Let us know what you think about the Scream franchise. What do you think about the new one? Do you agree with kind of our gist on the entire franchise? What are your opinions? We want your feedback. We want to know what you feel. You know, and then until we talk to you again, embrace the madness.
Join us at GUIPodcast.com.
Mike the Hobbit here,
Lowdown Brown.
inviting you to check out Geek Some of the Influence, a podcast that pairs booze with conversation with good friends.
And a little nerd culture.
We get a lot of colorful conversation out of our episodes, but it is here for everyone, no gatekeeping.
Always level up everything we do.
We'll punch up, never punch down.
Exactly.
So check out Geeks Under the Influence everywhere you get your podcasts and join us or die.
Shut the fuck up, Hobbit. Welcome to GUI Nights.
GUI Nights.
Yeah, I am Lowdown Brown. With me as always,
Mike the Hobbit.
this is the tangential side of GUI.
This is like so many of those other shows that has the after the show bit mixed with a little bit of Baywatch Nights, so it's a little sexier. It's a little bit after hours.
Also while tying it into the previous episode of GUI. So look forward to that too, because this comes out the week after the flagship hour-long episode.
So make sure to check out GUI Nights, and when you're done, you can...
Go the fuck home.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here, that's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
My name is Amy Bogard.
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
And we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIpodcast.com.